especially since I just started the podcast, and this is kind of like a new form of content for me. It's totally like new to me.
Yeah.
I'm only 8 episodes in, but it's been so refreshing. I've seen everything go up. I've seen my numbers go up. It's just like my content was kind of getting stale in a sense. I was doing, what I kind of was starting to do at the very beginning. I was still doing it 4 or 5 years in.
Gotcha.
When there's so many people doing the same thing as me now, so many people. It's on my explore page, I see videos. I think they're mine sometimes, and I'm like, oh, it's somebody else's.
Tell me about it.
I think I had the opposite happen. I see some things pop up, and then I realize it was yours. I'm like, yo, Larry's out here, bro.
What are you talking about? We don't care. 2 coffee.
I didn't really just like sit down, talk, and then be like, all right, send me the file.
Yeah, I'll see you later. I just have to worry about the clips. I can't pass that off.
Yeah.
Unless I can find a clone of my brain, I can't. I can't pass those off yet.
Yeah, it's got your style to it too.
Yeah. Like not everyone is going to be a hit, but I have had some hits. So I know like my formula-ish.
That's what we always talk about too. It's like, listen, it's not about like, because you put so much work into one clip and this shit might just flop.
Yeah.
Then it's like, you put kind of a lot less work into a clip and that shit goes crazy and you're like, God damn.
Bro.
Or it's like a less quality or like a cell phone video. Like, why the fuck is this shit getting
That's
so
why
many more views?
That's why I'll still do the stupid selfie videos.
You got to.
Like, bro, I'll do a stupid selfie video and I'll do it as like a brand deal with a company and it blows up. Like, so one of my my most recent videos that have like blown up have been brand deals. It's wild because it's because of the product. The product can be like out of this world. Like,
it looks good for you too, because they're like, damn, I got my return on investment. That video did great.
That means
let's call that guy back.
Yeah, they're gonna want to work more. Yep. Exactly. That's how I look at it too. I'm not mad at it at all.
Let's give yourself a proper introduction. I know we've been going for a minute. I mean, listen, Josh always says like every guest we get is a little more prestigious and it's just every time it gets a little bit better. And I think honestly, we did it again. We did it again, man. I've been, we were talking about it earlier. I've been rocking you since the Scared Don't Fear days, all the music you've done with Piff. Shout out Piffin. And it's just like to see you, like, I feel like you're one of the first people that I knew that really branched into content creation and like crushed it. Like, and I feel like it was early on too, to be honest. I feel like it was like, you can correct me, but like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe like.
Probably, on Instagram. Yeah. I tried the whole YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
And it didn't click for me. You know what I mean? It just wasn't clicking because I don't know. I ended up like kind of stumbling into filling a void in a sense, right? Instagram was like, I don't even think it was full minute videos yet. I think we were at 30-second videos.
Yeah, it was 15 that they extended.
It was 15 to 30 and then it was 30. So the 30-second, and that's when I like kind of like got in the door in there and I just stumbled across a piece of content that just kind of like took off for me, blew up, 20,000 views or something. I was like, yo, what am I doing right now? I got to keep doing this kind of stuff. Before that, I was just doing like beat videos, beat making videos or like the beat performance videos where you kind of like fake playing.
And those do well too. They can do they can do well.
Yeah.
The beat performance videos.
So like I was trying to like sell beats, you know what I mean? So I'm like, let me showcase some beats and make the lighting kind of cool and make, get the setup, play it on the drum pad, finger drumming and whatnot, maybe play some keys. And then I posted this one clip of screen recording, no audio, no voiceover, nothing, just like a meme style. And it said, make sure your engineer does this. And it was me just lining up vocal layers.
Oh, yep.
Just slicing and dicing and lining them up. And that was it. And it was probably like it might have even been just like a 15-second loop or something. And then after that, my next video was a little bit more tutorial stylish because I was like, all right, I think I'm onto something.
Yeah.
Let me just keep running with this.
Was that like what really set it off? You're like, shit, I might as well fucking keep trying.
Yeah. That's what really, because I had been trying a whole bunch of different pieces of content before that. I was, like really involved in the music scene too. I was doing live music shares on Instagram Live back way before the, that whole content thing took off there.
Yep.
So I was just always trying to find something different, trying to, every so often try something new. Yeah. See if it would pop. But give it time though. Like I could see I was being realistic about it. I'm not going to try something for like 3 years straight and it's, something's not working and not change anything at all. Like do some like little tweaks and then every once in a while I'll make like a big change.
So how long have you been using Fruity Loops? Like how long? FL?
I've been using, they got sued for that.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That's why they changed it.
In my head, it's just, it used to be called Fruity Loops.
It used to be called Fruity Loops, but they got sued. And I believe
Kellogg's.
By Kellogg,
by Fruit Loops. Yeah. By Kellogg's, bro.
Speaking of Kellogg's, you just had a parrot behind you too. That's funny as fuck.
Damn.
There was a parrot right behind him in that picture.
I haven't gone into I haven't dove into it really crazy, but that's the main reason. I don't know if they just said, we're not going to just pursue this anymore. We'll just change it. We'll change it to FL Studio, just move on from there. So it was that kind of thing. Kind of
I just know it's Fruity Loops, but
kind of like the whole WWF, WWE thing.
Exactly. I was talking about that the other day, man.
Yeah.
And I guess what I heard about that is that they had the rights to WWF in America, but the World Wildlife Federation had it worldwide. So they wanted to go out of the country for once, and they couldn't. So they're fuck, we just got to change our whole name.
That's what started the whole thing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which nowadays you don't even think about it. It's just WWE.
Wow. So to answer your question, I've been using FL Studio Fruity Loops for it's coming on 20 years now. So either it's hitting 20 years now. I can't tell the exact date, but it's about to be 20 years or it is 20 years right now.
Well, damn, for 20 years, you got to always probably imagine working with them is probably got to be one of the biggest goals, right?
Yeah. And until, it just sort of happened in the last year and a half ish, maybe.
Yep,
there was a different person in artist relations, and then she left the position, and then the new guy that's in artist relations I've had contact with since I think since he's been there or shortly after got introduced and had that relationship. Just talking here and there. We've been doing some giveaways, nothing too crazy, but the relationship has just been growing over the last couple of years. It's been really good. Now, we were just talking about earlier, at NAMM, I got to do and put together the only events that FL had at NAMM. I did 2 mini events over there where we did a Q&A. I had some FL Studio users come through that I know just from networking online. Nice. Some producers and content creators and stuff come through. We did a Q&A. Demo thing, and then the next day we did a 5-minute beat battle. So people from the crowd could just join.
That's fire.
They had an FL set up there, and we just did a 5-minute beat battle. 5 people joined, and they had 5 minutes to cook up, and we just judged it.
I've seen people speed run beats on FL on content, bro.
Have you seen that kid? I just talked about him on my pod the other day.
I don't think so.
This kid, Rob TMB. I don't know how old he is, but he looks really young, and he literally sets a timer. And I don't know how he has it hooked up, but he must just hit a hotkey and it resets the timer. But he's trying to make, I don't know if he's done it yet.
Yeah.
But he's setting legit world records or maybe community world records.
Yeah.
The world record to make Humble, Humble by Kendrick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Guess how fast the record is? What he's trying to beat right now, or if he is beating.
It's probably 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
It's 12.
Damn.
12.
Create the whole beat?
The whole beat, bro. The whole beat.
I don't. My brain does not compute. That does. I don't understand how. None of this shit makes sense. You said that he's recreating the whole beat in 12 seconds.
He literally has the sounds set.
Yeah, ready. Yeah.
But he's going into the piano roll, clicking in the notes, going to the drums, clicking in the drums, mapping the beat out and everything in 12 seconds.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's always super incredible to me, how the next generation of people that do things, how they close the gap so crazy and then supersede whatever that is. Cause it go, in anything, you're talking about this. It reminds me of even in breakdancing, how some of the moves that they used to do was crazy, head spins and air flares on this shit. Now these 11-year-olds are doing the same.
It's the 900.
Moves. The what?
It's the 900. Tony Hawk was the first one to do the 900. That was kids doing 900s.
Exactly.
It's like that in everything. I see the same thing in all aspects, production. It can stay kind of stagnant for a while, and then somebody comes along that's just a prodigy. Mm-hmm. That's all they do. Realistically, all that person is doing is whatever that is all day, every day for the entire life. You know what I'm saying?
We see that shit in video editing.
You must see it in drumming. You must see it in video editing.
Oh my God.
I see it in production in FL. I see it in hockey stuff. I see it's in everything. It's crazy.
We got some of these crazy fucking demons out here now that are video editing, and they're doing these 24-hour or same day turnarounds that are so ridiculous. It's yo, we could do that too, but it's just what the fuck?
Young man's game. Huh? There's a young man's game.
That shit is, it's nuts, bro. Some of these
dudes with video editing stuff.
Oh yeah.
Where you think a lot of people are using AI now too.
That too, but there's some real demons out there.
Because there's ways
That's
to implement AI that's not like taking over everything. Like I use AI to edit the podcast.
Yep.
I can set the amount of speakers and the amount of video tracks and assign them to each. And then I let it run. It'll edit a whole podcast in like less than a minute.
Yep.
And
It's awesome.
I do go through and just like, double check.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll double check. Sometimes it will fuck up and I won't double check and I'll be talking and it'll be on Josh the whole time. So
and it just be me like.
But I think
we do the same thing for ours too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What do you use?
That's great.
I don't even know what he uses, to be honest.
It's probably Autopod. I think that's
probably.
because they went like viral a few months ago.
It might be that one.
Yeah.
It might be that.
Is he using Premiere?
He's using Premiere. Yeah.
So it's definitely. Well, I'd imagine.
It's
it's
like
Autopod.
I mean, I don't think we pay monthly. I don't even know what the payment is, but it's so worth it. It saves me hours.
Oh, it's 100% worth it. If you're doing podcasting like more than a few times a month, then you should definitely have that.
Yeah, bro. I'm doing 4 a month, and I'm doing it with him, and he realistically like. That's really good for him running a business like that too with podcasting, because now he can like, the turnaround is crazy. He doesn't have to go and hire somebody, which doesn't make the person's like cost more. So it's just, it's just such a huge help.
And something like that really is a kind of more accurate than a human. You know what I mean? Like I might get lazy towards the second hour of the show or something. This thing's, as long as everything's right, I've noticed like if one of the levels on the mic is a little hot, it'll favor that one, which I guess makes sense. You know what I mean? Like as long as you just like,
It's going by levels.
yeah, if you just X out all the human error, it works fucking really good.
Yeah.
They have like a clip editor too. Don't trust it yet. I've tried a few AI clip editors. They're just wonky.
Yeah, no, they're not.
They don't get context.
You mean
really.
to get like shorts, like reels and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
like-
Yeah. The CapCut one is not good. Like the way it pans back and forth. Like because you used CapCut before.
Yeah.
So you see like how it will automatically make you one.
Yes.
And it's never good.
It's
I'm like,
never
let
good.
me try to see if I can use this.
It's
I'm
like
nope.
start though. Like
It is a start.
Like months ago, we tried like every free trial that was out there. You just plug in the YouTube link and it'll come out with like 10 different clips, the captions, but it's just something's just always wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that you also need to assign it the right stuff. Like when I say assign it the right stuff, like sometimes like with some of the clips we were doing, some of the things we had trouble with early on with some of the clips was like, it'll be because we're crazy, but we had like one camera on 4 people, one camera on 4 people, one camera on us 2.
Yeah,
in the
we
middle.
did have like a bigger podcast.
Yeah, so like
a lot of people.
Yeah, so like it would.
Oh yeah,
it'd be on this side, but then it'll be on this dude that's not talking, but he's talking on this side. So it's just a bunch of shit like that. But for the most part, though, when you got somebody like Murph, he's a fucking the mutant.
I can't give it up. Just same with you. Like you were saying earlier. I don't even know if you were recording, but like that's the one thing you can't give up is the clips, because it's like
I don't think we were recording with that. I can't give it up.
Yeah.
I'll take what Merc gives me, and it's literally the jump cuts, like with the plugin or whatever, the AI thing that does it.
Yep.
Back and forth. And that's always, when it comes to me, it's perfect. I don't know if he has to mess with it. I really don't know. I got to ask him. But when it comes to me, it's
probably not.
It's perfect.
If all his levels are fine, like you probably just go.
Wait, I'm confused. I'm sorry. Merc, that's what you record. That's what you
that's
record.
where my podcast.
You guys had that conversation prior too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well,
it was before we started
we're gonna
recording.
peel back the onion a little bit on that. But as you were saying, I didn't mean to.
That's right next to Sway Studio, right across the hall.
I remember.
Yep.
He's been
He's had that shit forever.
forever, bro.
He was just telling me the other day, 18 years. He's been in that room.
All right, I wasn't gonna say 18, but god damn.
Because we were just talking about it, and it got brought up Friday, maybe.
Yeah.
I think I went there Friday or Thursday. I can't remember, but it literally got brought up. And
Yo,
he
shout
said
out to
he's
him,
been
man.
doing-
One of the most consistent people in Rhode Island, period, bro.
Facts.
That's
Absolutely.
staple wise, like people. I know that a lot of people go there for their first like real recording and real this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people who are actually like trying to like make it for real. Like they need that first professional look, or they like, obviously people who are veterans or who've been doing it forever. But like Merc has been that guy through and through, front to back, on this side and on that side of the spectrum. Like it's pretty dope to see.
Hey, yeah, for real, man. He's a good dude. He's a really good guy.
That's super smart. We've talked about opening a podcast space, but it's just logistically hasn't made sense for us because we would need staff there, like, you know what I mean? And like, or at least somebody like that can be there when we can't and stuff right now. But like, I'm so glad that somebody did, because even like for podcasts like you, like you're coming out the gate with quality, and it's like some people, for us, probably took us 20, 30 episodes to figure out the quality aspect. But like,
No, that's not true.
At the beginning, we thought it was super high quality, but looking back,
You always make little tweaks here and there, but sometimes it's like we were just saying about the selfie video stuff, and like sometimes the quality isn't what you think is the quality.
it's a hindrance sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes the quality is just the content itself.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the lighting or the camera, the lenses. It's like, it's the actual content in itself.
Yeah, but to debate that, just to debate that a little bit,
hear it.
a little pushback, because we don't have the full, the proper audience. You know what I'm saying? Like we get like we have so many views and so many this or that, like consistently. I think we try to go over the top of quality because we want people to at least, if they see it, all right, wait a minute.
It looks 100% professional.
Yeah, these guys might be getting paid for
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying.
So like, you know, it's there's a little bit of a trade-off there because, I mean, of course it still does what it's going to do, but at the end of the day, like sometimes I'm like, yo.
It is the content though, because one of my favorite podcasts, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. Do you know who Shane Gillis is?
Yeah.
He's a comedian. So his podcast is great. Him and his friend Matt McCusker, who's also a comedian. It's literally like a cell phone. Maybe it's not a cell phone, but they're just like on their couch and it's like no cuts, nothing. And it's just because they're hilarious.
Yep.
The whole time, the whole time is something worth it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the, I mean, you know, they also have the audience and they're comedians. So that's a whole different,
they just riff.
professional
They just riff
comedians.
for hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their job. All they do is talk.
Yeah,
Talk shit, make funny jokes, and they're not even thinking about what they're saying. They're just on to the next one, next thing, next
and
thing,
they're
next
so
thing.
quick.
Oh,
they're
man.
so quick-witted.
What comedians do you fuck with? Like, do you?
I like Shane Gillis a lot now.
yeah,
I think he's fucking hilarious.
Nah, he's one of the best. Bro.
Like, I don't know, just like
funny.
his like gestures, the shit that he does.
Yeah. Very childish, bro. It's mad, but I love it. He's like, dude, that's gay.
The shit he was talking about, like when he was saying he watches like war videos with his buddies.
Oh my god,
bro! And he's like, that'd be me. He's like, when I shoot the gun, my feet would be moving. I can't even do it any justice, but he just like he gets me fucking dying.
Nah, I fuck with Shane. Who else do you like?
I love Bobby Lee. I've always loved Bobby Lee since Mad TV days, but right now I don't know. He's just like rejuvenated. I wouldn't even call it rejuvenated because probably on the like the comic scene, he's always been killing it.
Yeah, they've always said he's like a legend.
But now, I mean, even he would agree with the fact that like in the last, like, I mean, probably since like the pandemic, maybe he's been re-blown up again. And his style, just like dark, dry humor.
Super dark.
It's so good though.
Yo, the shit with him and Andrew Santino.
Yep.
Oh, Bad Friends.
Yep. How about the Kill Tony?
Oh, Kill Tony, bro.
You know Kill Tony?
I just watched the last night's episode today, man.
Come on, man.
Our favorite show, 9 p.m. every Monday. But you can't watch it live because there's a lot of ads. So I just wait till I wait.
So skip the probably first 15 to 17 minutes, and then go straight to who's ready for a Kill Tony show? Like, yeah, let's go.
So there's the Kill Tony, like where they bring up comedians that they could just roast each other, and then he also goes on tour live, right? Just himself as a regular stand-up.
Yeah.
I want to go to the show where they roast the comedians. I was just trying to figure this out yesterday with my friend. I'm like, yo, I need to go to one of these. But I think they're at Joe Rogan's place.
You're not talking about like you don't want to go. You want to go to a Kill Tony episode.
Yeah, because it's Kill Tony, then there's like a solo tour where he does like stand-up.
I'm sure that's great. I want to go to the fucking the roast sessions.
Madison Square Garden, bro.
We might.
He's gonna do that at
August 13th or something. It's in August. That's all I know. And he put in 2 nights. The first night sold out.
We might just get the shitty seats just to go.
Bro, I would go to that.
Would you sign up to do a minute?
No.
We might just sign. We sign everybody who's gonna wait. Just in case anyone else go. That's crazy, yo.
Bro, like I don't know. I mean, those off the top of my head, as far as like comedians goes, those are the ones that I just keep seeing pop up on socials. Like just be having me dying laughing.
Nah, you gotta love Bobby Lee though. He's
Bobby Lee is just so good right now. Bobby Lee and Shane Gillis just killing it. How about Shane Gillis though? Came back after a cancellation.
About to host SNL.
Damn.
And he's about to host Saturday Night Live.
He's about to host it. Yeah, for real. That's crazy. When he said that shit to me,
not this week, next week I think he's hosting it. And
come on,
what a story.
Right?
What a story that is.
Fucking fired from Saturday Night Live
before he even started.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he didn't even really start yet. He just got announced and then fired.
And then canceled.
To now host it. That's fucking
I can't lie. He got canceled for an Asian joke, and I'm an Asian man. I hope he starts off the monologue like, hello.
Oh, he's probably...
Yo, he has to.
He's probably going to do some shit that might get him canceled again.
Yeah,
like that's the goal of his. That's probably a goal of his.
Do we know what the joke was?
I don't even know.
I think it was the Asian accent that he was doing.
I think
it can't be that bad, yo.
Because I don't think it's that serious, to be honest. Or maybe he said the G word. I don't know.
What's that mean?
I'll bleep it up.
Okay.
I don't know. It wasn't it like on a podcast of his?
Yeah, it was like an old
that's
episode.
what it was.
As soon as he got
podcast.
signed, somebody started digging through his episode.
Yep.
He's on like episode 600 or something like that. Yeah. So, and he's a comedian. He's just riffing. I'm sure he says some crazy shit.
I'm afraid of that, yo. They're gonna come back and start looking through our shit like.
Oh, you're fine. You haven't said nothing too crazy.
I mean, we get pretty violent on this on the show, but whatever, Definitely some women are gonna come back and be like,
Man, what a story though with that dude.
Bro, I can't believe
That's crazy.
I really, and that'll probably be the first time I watch Saturday Night Live in like 10 years, to be honest. Like I'll probably sit down.
Yeah, I don't
and be
really
like,
watch it either.
I don't watch it at all. I see some
At
clips.
all.
And somebody
Yeah.
goes really well. You see some clips. Like when Drake did it. That shit went super viral. I never watched the full episode. I just watched all Drake's moments on it. Really. And
Yeah, I'll just see. Yeah, nowadays it's like the way I judge something if it's doing really well. This is a good topic of conversation. See what you guys think about this. The way I judge things nowadays is how viral they go. So if I
1000%.
hear about something going on, like the dunk contest or the All-Star game, and I don't see shit going viral, I know that shit was a flop because I'm online all day.
Yep.
It's with what I do, and I'm just obsessed like everybody else is, and I'm online, I'm on socials all day long. And if I don't see something go viral,
it wasn't that serious.
it probably wasn't that serious.
Yeah, I have to scroll past it a few times to be like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this shit's actually fucking popping right now.
Yep.
Like the All-Star game or the celebrity All-Star game, I didn't even know it was happening. All I hear about is how Kai Cenat didn't get any minutes. So like, just because it's Kai and he didn't get any
he's a
playing
streamer.
time, that shit's going crazy right now. But like,
Shout out to Kai, man. He's fucking.
Yep. And how
cooking.
like I've been seeing the things that I have been seeing going viral from like the dunk contest and the All-Star game is all negative based around like how Stephen A. Smith was saying that he thinks LeBron ruined the dunk contest.
Yeah, because he feels like since he didn't participate, he feels like he encouraged other superstars not to participate. And then they're saying that there's only been 4 superstars that have participated in the dunk contest since like 2000 whatever. Like it's been like
like no
less
top
and
notch
less.
guys
Yeah,
are
you
Get
doing it.
hurt. You know, I feel like you can get you're risking to do some crazy
But
shit.
that's a part of the whole.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
That's a part of the whole thing.
LeBron probably could have done some crazy dunks over the years.
yeah, probably, but he also he's a power dunker and he does have some creative dunks. But the fact that it's LeBron, people would have watched it. But I like the idea they're presenting now is for them to sponsor a dunker versus like each superstar. You sponsor somebody, you find somebody from the street or one of these amazing professional dunkers at the top of their game, and you sponsor him.
That would be really dope. It would give people a huge platform, but at the same time, people want to see LeBron doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People wanted to
year.
see him in the dunk contest.
Yeah,
and that would make a huge deal. That's like having The Rock come back at WrestleMania or some shit. You know what I mean?
not?
Like that's like having.
That's all I've been hearing about.
Well, he's not fighting Roman Reigns, but he's going to be involved.
They like
He's heel now, bro. Do you watch wrestling?
I don't. I used to when I was younger, obviously.
I
But
thought for some reason I thought you watched wrestling.
But I see it on fucking Instagram constantly. Only when The Rock's like involved, or like Logan Paul, who I gotta say, he looks like he's doing great.
Logan
he
Paul's
looks
a
like an
fucking
amazing wrestler.
monster, bro.
Let me tell you, he is killing it, and he's not only killing it in a sense of like going viral and having the viral moments. He's holding a title right now. I think it's the U.S. title, so he's a United States champion. But not only that, like he is one of the most respected celebrities to come in WWE ever.
Yeah?
in
be.
the history of the WWE.
He's fucking athletic, dude.
Because he's coming in with like an actual like respect for wrestling and the whole business in
and
general.
he can wrestle.
And he can wrestle.
Bro,
Yeah.
He's athletic and he knows the business.
Fam, the stuff that I've seen him do, I was like, oh shit.
He's a beast.
There's a lot of oh shit moments when he's jumping off the top rope and they both clashing in the air together. I'm like, yo.
Bringing a lot of
Those are the reasons why the guys backstage and the people in the offices are like giving him the belt, and now they're giving him a full-time contract. When it was just like a celebrity contract, he might have done like what I used to call pay-per-views, but now there's something like premium events or something like that. But they're giving him a full-time contract with ridiculous money because he's killing it, and he's putting his body on the line. He has a huge respect for everybody there in the business in general.
Plus that Prime bag.
Oh, bro.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's got Prime involved.
Prime a sponsor? It's got to be.
I don't think it's an actual sponsor, but he has it. I know he has to have it in his contract that he can do like some product placement.
Like fake drink a bottle at
yeah,
the
but like
end.
what's the other dude, his partner?
Oh, KSI.
He came out in a Prime bottle costume one time for a match. Like legit, and he was at ringside for the whole match. So
In a Prime bottle
in a Prime bottle costume.
Hey man, way to get the shit up.
Prime's a sponsor of the UFC, and now they're all under
fucking
Endeavor.
major.
And now they're all under the same company.
I guess it makes sense.
Which I love the whole like behind the scenes stuff in everything. I love it. Like now The Rock is on the board of directors there for TKO.
Well, because Vince McMahon is fucking.
He's done.
What's going on?
Fucked.
He's done.
I heard, but
I don't even know, to be honest, but I know
there's
it's
some
like
like
weird
big
shit.
things going down. I don't know all the details, but
Allegations.
some serious allegations.
Yeah.
And Brock Lesnar,
Oh, for real?
he's involved in that heavy. Yeah, they're taking him down off of all the stores and everything.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar's involved.
There was, UFC. We were big UFC fans, and UFC 300 is coming up, and Brock Lesnar was on UFC 200. So there was big talk of him coming back. I guess that's not fucking happening.
especially since they're connected now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And the company bought WWE, so
that sucks.
Yeah,
I wonder if anybody else is going to transfer over because he came from wrestling and then went to UFC and became a fucking world champion. I wonder who else. CM Punk did it. But he didn't really do that well in UFC.
No, he didn't.
I wonder who else would do it because now it's like they're right there. They could literally
do it.
They could do a lot of shit together.
They could do a lot of cross stuff like that. I'm sure they will. I just saw at one of the most recent events a couple of a UFC fighter basically like did a promo. He was like outside. He was like front row.
Oh, for real?
I can't remember who. I don't know UFC fighters like that. Mm-hmm. He was right outside the ring and he took the mic from the ring announcer.
For real?
And he basically cut a promo, called out Conor McGregor.
Oh, Michael Chandler. This happened like last night. Like 2 nights ago.
It was on Raw.
It was on Raw. Yeah.
Which
he just got signed.
He got signed to Raw?
WWE.
Oh, he's got a wrestler like physique to him.
He got a wrestler physique. He also has that bravado, for that shit.
So bro, you know what that means? You might see Conor McGregor like in a WWE like event.
Without it. He'd be perfect.
I mean, listen, Conor McGregor got in the ring.
The super villain.
Yeah, he got in the ring with Mike Perry, which used to be a UFC fighter, but he got in the ring with Mike Perry at a bare knuckle boxing event and got in his face. And Mike Perry, they did a cool face off, and he's like, I'll knock you the fuck out. Like he's like type of shit. And Mike Perry's like, let's do it. And McGregor's just at this level with hundreds of millions of dollars. He's looking at this dude like, he's like, I'll do this. He's like, I'll fuck you up. And I was just like, yo, let's go, McGregor, let's fucking go.
Why not do wrestling?
Speaking of McGregor,
the script is written.
Another thing. Did you see him Did you see him play that part in the new movie?
No, Roadhouse. I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's Roadhouse. There was an old movie. I think with Patrick Swayze. Honestly, I've never seen it.
I'm not from that. I've never seen it.
But who's the new actor?
Now it's Jake Gyllenhaal, but McGregor's like the villain in it.
Oh, I've seen like some clips. Like he got like crazy jacked.
Bro,
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
and he plays it well.
McGregor though, when he goes into the bar, like his scene is like he has a bag. He's like, "What's up, boys? I heard somebody was boom making some fucking," and he just started trashing. I was like, "Damn, this shit is amazing." I was like, "Yo," because I was like,
he's never been on any WWE shit ever. I feel like they've maybe.
I don't know if they've ever used him for anything. Wow. Maybe.
Nah, man.
I don't think it's obvious like layup. Like
I know it's gonna happen.
Nah, McGregor's amazing at this shit. Yo, I wanted to ask you, man. Did you go to school for any of this shit?
No.
Like, because like, how does you do so many? You're so computer savvy as far as like these programs go and stuff like that. No school no schooling, no nothing.
Just YouTube University.
Yep, say that all the time.
Yes, sir.
That's it, bro.
Why, UTI? No.
What?
What?
I guess YTU.
YTU. Okay, yeah. Okay.
We should make merch for that. It looks like college shit. I bet mad people would buy that shit. Because everybody says YouTube University. No lie.
That's a big thing, yeah. But that's it, bro. Just
UTI
obsession.
shirts will go crazy.
Not UTI.
Fuck, whatever. I'm sorry.
I say the same thing, bro. Because I got my associate's degree and all this shit. But like, I learned so much more on fucking YouTube. Like, it's not even close.
It's not even to knock like. You know, some people think, it sounds cool to say I didn't go to school for any of it. It's really just, it's just like obsession, really. Like I just became obsessed with it. Like all of it too. Like the content creation side of things, just as much, if not like, it's almost like 50-50 right now. Like I'm obsessed with content creation just as much as I was at the beginning of me starting to make beats and using FL Studio.
The time has to balance out, I guess, right? Because you're probably producing less and creating more.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. And if I'm creating, it's creating to make content with it. A lot of times I'm still making a decent amount of my own music, but there's the good thing about that is that there's like no pressure to make ridiculously viral music and have a song, there's that kind of pressure is like gone. I mean, it's kind of shifted to have like a viral post or whatever. So it's kind of just shifted. It's gone somewhere else. But now I can have even more fun with the music side of things. Cause now it's like the pressure of like having like a huge hit is gone. So now I can create and just have fun with it.
What do you try to stick to? Like how many posts a day do you try to stick to?
Every day, at least one.
At least one.
At least one.
Yeah.
Every day. If I can get 2 out, I'll get 2 out. Like yesterday, I think I did 2. Today, I did 2. Yeah. So realistically, I have like a cutoff today. I even posted my second one kind of late, and I don't like to. I got to see how it's doing. It's probably, I don't know. We'll see how it's doing. But I like to post in the morning.
Yep.
So like between 9 and 10. And if I do have a second post, it's going to be like, I want to do like 1, 2 o'clock the latest.
Sounds
but
right.
Today I did it at like 4, and I was like, because I dropped the pod today, and then I got the full clip ready. And then I was going through time marking all my clips. And then I chose a clip, and then I pulled it in and I edited it. And then I dropped it at 4.
It's so much work, honestly.
It is a lot of work, but I mean,
goes.
it has to be done. If that doesn't get done, and if I'm not the one that's doing those clips, it's not, I know for a fact I might have some hits, but I won't have as many as if I were to just do it all myself on the clip side of things.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of people that said, man, if you just like train somebody and you train. Yeah. But if there's somebody that knows FL like me, that knows content creation, that knows editing, that understands the psychology that goes behind all the posting and cutting and editing and all that stuff, then they're probably already doing it on their own and they don't have time for me.
That's a good ass point.
Yes, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But we do have some people that try to ask us to do the type of stuff, but like, I feel like the amount of content you need to put out, that if you have to pay for each post that you're doing, it's going to cost you way too much on the
that too.
That's specifically,
I'll be the same person to tell you got to post at least once or twice a day. But it's like if you want to like hire us to produce a video for you once or twice a day, it just doesn't make sense most of the time. You know, that's like big businesses do that sometimes, or like people that are super like established in that sense. But you got to just post as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yo,
crazy.
Yo, since you've been doing this for a while, so like, how do you feel like things have shifted? Music, like the music industry has shifted from when you started to, you're saying like now you don't have the pressure to, have to put a viral hit song or anything like that. But like, how do you feel like it's definitely shifted from when you started to now, especially being in the content creation space?
Man, it just in that alone, I mean, everybody has to be a content creator now. So you could, 10 years ago, or 15, 20 years ago when I started out, you could essentially get in the right room with somebody, and essentially like nobody know you, but then kind of blow up because you would have that push behind you, would have marketing behind you. You find a label. Now, all these labels want to see your content. They want to see if you can create an audience on your own. Yeah. So now you have to be a content creator. You have to be a musician. You have to be a producer. You have to be an engineer. You have to be a mix engineer. You have to be everything. You have to wear all the hats, or you have to have a shitload of money to spend on people that can do all that shit for you. And most of us don't when we're starting out, or even further into your career. It wouldn't make sense. Like you said, cost wise, it sometimes just doesn't make sense. So you got to wear all the hats. So that's really like the biggest change that I've seen is not only do you have to make the music, but you have to make content for people to come across your music, or else nobody sees it, nobody hears it.
A lot of people online talk about like being an artist and getting yourself on camera type shit is just usually not mixed too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are a little more introverted that make music sometimes, and it's like they're forced to like, I had to put a video up and have it go viral or nothing. But it's a double-edged sword, because at the other end, discoverability is as big as it's ever been, and like anybody can just have that one video and then your entire life changes.
Right. Because when I first started with the content, I wasn't really putting myself out there that much. When I first got started with like the tutorial stuff, I was a little still introverted. I didn't want to talk to a camera. I didn't want to have my face on camera and talk to the camera. I was not comfortable at all whatsoever. So I would just do the straight voiceovers. I found like that little where I could still have happy like medium. My branding. I had a happy medium. I had my branding that had my face on it. So people kind of knew my face, if that came across my content. I had the whole tagline then still. So like there was some branding behind it, but I was still like pulled back a little, eventually got more comfortable with it. Now it's like, you can be faceless, but the content has to be fucking crazy
faceless. People like your personality. People get attached to people for who they are,
and they get invested big time.
100%.
Big time get invested. I mean, YRG, he did a lot of faceless content up until he hit 1 million subscribers, and then he had to start showing his face.
That's huge on YouTube, faceless content, and then a big face reveal at 1 million.
Yeah, I mean, there's strategy behind it. It can work.
For sure.
Have you guys ever seen Reed Stefan?
No, I don't think so. No.
He's it's the puppet that does the tutorials for like
I actually
recording and production. So he probably doesn't really like to be on camera. He found a way to brand, and he uses a puppet, and the puppet is like, you know, it's a gimmick, but it's so smart, and it
works.
It blew him up.
Yeah, that shit
Between
works.
that and his knowledge, the knowledge that he has and what he does is unreal, right? But that mixed with a gimmick to the point where he's comfortable with, you know, putting himself out there, but not out there.
Yeah.
It just works.
He's never shown his face.
He has. His face is out there. I met him at NAMM too. So like he's out there.
That's dope.
Yeah.
He's somewhat recognizable still.
Yeah, like some people still know. You Google him, like people know him. I think he's had like a pretty good career in EDM stuff. So like people know him as a DJ, I think, and a producer.
And just because it worked in the recording space, you could probably take that and apply it to any niche. If somebody wanted to start a faceless channel right now with a puppet and fucking video editing or something, you probably could.
There's ways around it. There's definitely ways around it. You just got to be really creative. You got to be really, really good. You got to be extra good, I think. You got to figure out something that nobody's doing. You still got to involve some sort of personality, some sort of branding that sticks out amongst the rest. Yeah, you have to.
You know, you mentioned EDM. What is your favorite type of music to create?
Genre?
Yeah, genre.
Yeah, probably just hard stuff like hip hop. If it's EDM, which I've done a lot of, it's gotta be hitting hard. I love 808s and heavy kicks and snares and drums.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about earlier, I played drums for a while in a hip hop metal band. So I'm a huge fan of just like the heavy stuff, whether it's trap, you know.
Do you? I mean,
trap.
For some of the beats, you don't ever get behind the kit.
No.
Used to, or even
no, for my beats, I never like recorded drums. It was always like too much of a process to set up the drums, and
definitely is.
Then it's like I was never good at it to get them to sound good. I would always just rather just use the samples that I knew would cut through and just smack. Whereas like, you know, like miking up drums, like that's a science. Like you got to be a scientist with that shit
to get it right.
Yeah.
To get it
and like to get
right.
them to smack, like then you got to layer samples too. Like I'm sure like you know about that too, like recording live drums. Like not only you have to record, you have to mic everything up, multiple mics, overheads, multiple snare mics, multiple kick mics, a room mic, all those. Then on top of that, like layering samples on to get them to hit even harder sometimes, depending on the genre. Triggering, like, you know. So it was always too much of a process for me to get it to sound right. I would always keep that kind of like rhythm in mind though, like as if I was playing it. So that while I was programming and clicking drums in, I would always have that mentality, you know, that drummer mentality going into it though.
Nice.
You know?
At this point, what do you like more? Do you like doing the creation, or would you rather be like, I wish I had more time to like just make music? Or
I mean, I'm just enjoying where I'm at right now. I like both. I love this, like the fact that I said I don't have any pressure. So if I get in the mood to make some music, I can do that. And I even have more time to do that now too. So but like I said, I love creating content too.
Yeah.
I love sitting there and producing a video. It's the same thing to me. Realistically, it's the same thing. From start to finish. I'm taking something from almost nothing and creating a piece of art in a sense, and it's going out there to the world, just as if I was doing with with all my beats. But now I'm doing it with a little bit of both. You know, I got my music involved in a lot of the content, and I'm creating the content with my flavor on it, as if it was, you know, it's my art still. It's the same thing to me, and you know, it's just a different form of art in a sense.
We were talking about labels earlier and like the way artists have to behave in it now. Like, what do you think about fucking UMG taking everything off TikTok?
Bro, I talked about this a little bit with John.
That's
crazy.
40% or 50% of music.
It's got to be that, or if not more. I mean, I don't know. Like, so they just couldn't come to a deal, right? That's what it was. They couldn't come to an agreement.
Yeah, I guess so. The artists weren't getting enough money from it, I guess.
Or the labels weren't getting enough money.
Exactly.
Because they don't give a shit about the artists. Because they know like the artists probably aren't getting a big portion of those royalties coming off of those platforms.
Artists want the exposure. They want the thousands of people using this song to make a video.
Most artists, aside from like the Taylor Swifts, are probably saying, I want my music there, even if I'm getting nothing. Because what that does for me is it books me a show in Australia and I can sell it out. You know, now the smaller artists, but like I said, like the Taylor Swifts, it's not going to really affect them too much. It's going to affect the medium and small artists big time that are on those labels. But not only that, what I think is going to happen is if they don't come to a deal, I think it's going to open up a huge door for independent artists again. And now they can go in there without, you know, whatever form of payola they may have or may not have going on in there with TikTok. You know what I mean? And now
Yeah.
they can essentially go viral again, like it was the beginning of TikTok.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, some indie artists just blow up to where they wouldn't have if this whole deal didn't go the way it did.
I mean, that is true. It does blow that shit wide open.
Yeah, I think it's the best
That's
time.
50% of music already off.
You're eliminating half your competition at the highest level, the highest level of competition. So now it's just you versus the other indie artists for the most part.
You versus the other indie artists and whatever other labels, but regardless, it's still 40% of people the fuck up out of there.
Yeah.
So.
And TikTokers need music. They don't care who puts the music on there.
Yeah.
They're gonna find music that fits their video in some way, shape, or form. They don't care if it's a UMG artist or not. Maybe they want the new Taylor Swift song, maybe, you know, but they're like, hey, this song sounds kind of fire. It fits my vibe. I like this. Let me dance to it, or let me put it in the background. So now somebody's going to blow up that wouldn't have.
And you got no choice. You better dance to this shit or dance to the mute.
Yeah. There's some people in the middle. Like there's a TikToker, Noah Khan. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I probably have seen him.
He's a singer-songwriter, kind of, you know, in the Post Maloney vibe, I guess. And freaking, I guess he just recently got signed by UMG. And his main way of putting out music is to make TikTok. So like he's kind of in like a limbo. Like, and if you fucking... From what I watched a video, I think it was Nick D. Shout out Nick D. He was talking about if you're fucking putting up a pre-save campaign and you're playing the song, that's the one way to get around it. So the song's not out yet, so you're never gonna get flagged. Then when the song comes out, all the videos you made with that song get muted.
They're gonna get muted.
Yeah.
So now think of all the viral videos too that just like normal TikTokers have been using to make their posts go viral.
Yeah.
All those are muted, bro.
There's so many, bro.
They're gonna come to a deal at some point.
They have to.
There's gonna be too many complaints from both sides, I think.
I'd love to know the insides though. Like who's playing hardball here?
You know,
I think it's universal.
With these TikTokers too.
And
like,
one big both. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say to your point, like with these TikTokers, the way they translate music and what they decide to do with the song.
Yep.
What Kiki, do you love me? Whatever. Whoever got outside the car, started dancing alongside the car while the song was going on. That was the reason why it went crazy. That song went crazy because of how viral the dance went, and people were just like, "Oh, the challenge! Oh, yeah, challenges! Yeah, challenges is like pretty much what people were like, kind of like looking to do to like get there. Like it was almost like a campaign. You got to start a challenge with whatever song you're putting out because that's the way it goes.
Yeah, because those things happened organically. Then labels started looking at it like, oh, this is strategy. Like, this is the way.
Yep.
You know, we can get these songs to go viral.
Yep.
Let's hit up content creators. Let's get them to start doing this. So now it's like,
what the fuck do you?
I think both sides are losing.
Oh, 100%. I don't know, but I guess that's TikTok's argument. Like, this is how you guys promote music. Because the UMG is definitely like, we have the biggest artists in the world. They should be making more. And they're like, I don't know. This is how all music gets promoted nowadays. So they just can't come to an agreement.
And they could play hardball. Both sides could play hardball. So, you know.
I just didn't expect it to actually happen. They just take all that music down. It's
especially
crazy.
The level of names that were taken down. Taylor Swift and Drake alone.
There's only like a few labels in the world that's true. Like that's really run everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're one of it's like three, I think.
They're probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
Yeah.
UMG.
Universal Music.
What am I thinking about? What's the
Warner Brothers?
No, the company that bought out UFC.
TKO?
TKO.
No, not
Endeavor?
TKO. Before that, it was like a publicist company. I forgot what the name was. Who was Flo signed with for a bit?
WME.
That's
what you're talking about. William Morris Endeavor.
William Morris Agency.
Yeah.
They're like a management firm, right?
Yeah, they bought UFC.
But they bought UFC before this whole thing happened. And
crazy.
They had like a ton of the biggest artists and celebrities on the management, et cetera, et cetera. But
wow.
Shoot. Is there anybody like that because I know like now that you're doing the content creation space, you've already like solidified yourself as a music producer a long time ago, but is there anybody you're looking to collab with now? Like, or that you know?
Now it's just like for fun. So if I come across like some really dope music, now it's like I find content creators that make music and I'm like, I would love, like there's this one dude that I want on the podcast. He's an FL Studio user and his name is I like Rob TMB. I want to collab with him in some way. That kid that does the speed runs. I want to collab with him some way. Crazy. Like whether he comes on the podcast, we talk FL. Maybe we do, I don't know, like I'll give him like a challenge or a speed run or make a sample for him to chop. I don't know. Like I want to collab with guys like that are doing stuff like that now. Like
Yeah.
You know, cause that's what I consume. That's what I see. That's what I'm inspired by. That's what I'm motivated by now is all this content. There's another guy named, I think Rob. He does these crazy viral videos. He uses FL Studio. He right now you might have seen him. He goes crazy viral all the time. He does this thing where he just throws a dart at a map. He'll throw a dart. He'll throw a dart at a map behind him like this, like blindly. And wherever the dart lands, he'll make a song based on wherever that dart landed. And he'll use a sample. Like one of the most recent ones he did was it landed in the water. So then he took like a water bottle and like shook it around, made some sounds and samples out of water, and then does the vocals too.
That's
and
fire.
And the songs are good. The songs are fire. So not only are they like super, super creative, but the songs are just so good.
That reminds me of Connor Price. He's a rapper. He does the spin the globe. So he'll spin the globe and then he'll put his finger on it. And if it's like Nigeria, he'll be like, all right, let's figure it out.
Yep.
And
Let's find somebody from Nigeria to like collab with.
Yeah, it's super engaging content. I was actually watching a video because it's like when you're, like you said, behind the scenes shit. I'm behind the scenes, try to be behind the scenes on like content creation and what goes and what doesn't and blah, blah, blah. And it was just talking about how like his video has multiple hooks. It's the first hook of spinning the globe. And then it's like, oh my God, this guy's good. That's another hook. And then I'm going to reach out to him. That's another hook. And then it's like, what's the song sound like? That's another hook. So he has 4 hooks like going throughout one video.
You have to.
It's fucking crazy.
You have to. That's how I'm thinking about my videos right now too.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of like, all right, the first 2 seconds are the most important, but then you have to almost like second hook them. And keep them watching to the end of it. And then even maybe get them to rewatch the whole video. Because then the watch time goes up. That also boosts that video and shows it to more people.
And then especially getting them to like wait to the end of the video. Like at least they complete the majority watch time or whatever the fucking...
And shares. Shares are huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Like, so commenting and likes, like you think those are big and you get a lot of likes and a lot of comments. That's good.
Yeah.
But if you ever see the videos that go the most viral, the shares almost match the likes.
It's crazy.
A post might have 11,000 likes and 10,000 shares.
Yeah.
You know
That's
why
I went crazy.
That's why it went crazy.
Yeah, that's what
the shareability.
Because from what I understand, like the most important thing to an app like Instagram or TikTok is to keep you on the app or to get people to come on. So just by a share, you're encouraging somebody else to open the app. So they're going to obviously, the algorithm is going to favor those moments over you just putting some fire emojis or something, you know?
Right. That's not going to boost the engagement.
It looks good to other people.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh my God, you got this many likes, you got this many comments. That's great. Maybe I want to comment now. But it's like the algorithm's concerned. I feel like IG, you're right. IG is all shares. I don't think I've ever thought about that.
The posts that I have that have the most views have the most shares. Hands down.
That makes sense.
Damn.
Yep.
That is the most important thing.
Thousands of shares. It's like, damn, that's damn. Some people that can't get to 1,000 likes. You know what I'm saying? That's major, though. And then if you think about it, like, imagine having all those, even on your most popular videos, imagine having all those people who shared it one time in a room.
Bro.
That's arena. It could be an arena.
Exactly.
15,000, 20,000.
Yeah. And you even got to think of it. Like, even if your post only has, 50 or 100 likes or whatever, like that's still 50 or 100 people that physically engaged with that too. Yeah. So that means there's something about it that 50, 100 people like. You just got to figure out ways to boost those numbers to get more of that audience involved.
Do that again, do it again, and do it again, and do it again.
The hooks are everything.
Oh my God.
The hooks are everything.
Everybody's scrolling. There's so much shit that you can scroll through. If I don't like it, I can just scroll to the next thing. If you don't got me in the first couple of seconds, I'm probably going to scroll.
Yep.
I'm a victim of it too. It's like you almost got to understand the mind of a prisoner.
And even and doing all this stuff, all the the short clip editing myself, like the reels and whatnot, I'm heavily focused on the first 0 to 5 seconds. After that, I can sometimes tune down what I've done and kind of let it flow. Right.
Yeah.
But because I know that's the most important thing.
Yep.
Because if they can just get in the door, I know the bulk of that video has to still be good. It has to still be chopped up nicely. There can't be gaps and breaths and all that kind of shit. Has to be fast paced, has to be informative to the very end. I want them to watch the whole thing, but I can kind of back off the crazy editing, especially doing it all myself. I'm like, all right, I need to just put this thing out. I could definitely keep going here, but I want to sauce up the first 5 seconds. So animation coming in, maybe some zoom ins. I'm using the FL Studio startup sound sometimes now, and I'm choosing pieces of the video, maybe where I repeated a word, or if for instance, me and John said this, this one video that kind of went producer viral about this plugin called Harmer. And in the natural conversation, it just happened. It happened naturally. I said, Harmer. And he goes, Harmer. And I said, Harmer. Like that. It was just a natural thing. And I fed into that in the editing and I just like zoom. And I put a sound effect behind it. And I have a strong feeling that is the main reason that video blew up, was because of that little hook right there.
Yep.
That intro that was half organic and half editing, that I sauced it up and exaggerated it a little bit more with some sound effects and zoom ins and animations.
Yeah. And you know, most times like a lot of people won't catch the whole thing. They will only catch the clips. So, you know, that's a good thing. And then the clips is what gets people to go watch the whole thing.
Hopefully convert.
Hopefully eventually. And you don't want to like over push the short, the people to the long form platform. Sprinkle it in there a little bit. Like what I'll do nowadays is I will, especially since I just started the podcast and this is kind of like a new form of content for me. It's totally like new to me.
Yeah.
I'm only 8 episodes in. But it's been so refreshing. I've seen everything go up. I've seen my numbers go up. It's just like my content was kind of getting stale in a sense. I was doing, you know, what I kind of was starting to do at the very beginning. I was still doing it 4 or 5 years in.
Gotcha.
When there's so many people doing the same thing as me now. So many people. It's on my Explore page, I see videos. I think they're mine sometimes, and I'm like, oh, it's somebody else's. You know?
Tell me about it.
I think I had the opposite happen. I see some things pop up, and then I realize it was yours. I'm like, yo, Larry's out here, bro. I see you pop up on BeatStars a lot. Like,
I've done some stuff with BeatStars.
Yeah, I feel like your beats always ranked pretty well. I always like see them when I'm just scrolling. I'm like, oh, fucking Larry's out here, man. It's so dope to see.
Who's that dude? The other producer you fuck with on YouTube? He does like he'll make a beat that day or like right there, and then like they'll rap.
Kenny Beats.
Kenny Beats.
Oh, Kenny Beats. Yeah.
Fucking love Kenny Beats.
What does he do? Well, I mean, not what he's doing. I'm sorry. What does he use?
Ableton.
Okay.
Yeah, he uses.
There's wars out there against the different DAWs.
Yeah, I mean that's why I was asking. I didn't want to. You know,
there's fake wars. Anybody that's like serious about it is like. People get crazy. People get real serious about it and get angry. At least it seems that way through comments and whatnot. Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun banter to kind of just.
They all kind of do the same. I mean, I don't all do this, but like you could do a session with any single one of them.
It's fun conversation. It's fun just bullshitting with people and saying my DAW's better than yours.
Well, no, my question is this: what's the difference between Ableton and FL? Like, I know like Premiere and Final Cut are like the top two. For the most part,
DaVinci, right? Resolve.
And DaVinci, but
they're totally different. The way, like, just the workflow is totally different.
And you prefer, obviously,
yeah,
FL.
I just started out on FL. I'm 20 years in. The first real program I started on was FL Studio.
Nice.
I think that's what it really comes down to.
It really is
what you started on. My brother, when I was growing up, used Acid Pro to make beats. He was lining up the fucking sound clips and everything in Acid Pro.
Jesus.
So I grew up when I first started making music using Acid Pro, and then I quickly realized I was like, I might have to change. So I ended up going to Pro Tools, and it's just like I feel like yes, if you gave me like an hour, I might be able to figure out each DAW and how to route shit. But it's like I would. It's not the same. It really is all workflow. Like I can do like Pro Tools like the back of my hand. I'd be so lost in FL Studio. It's not even funny.
It's total. FL Studio is so different from any other DAW. Like if you're used to a Pro Tools, if you're used to a Logic, I just talked about this the other day too. The jump. So let's say you started out on Ableton. The jump from an Ableton to a Pro Tools is nowhere close from the jump from Ableton to FL Studio. The jump is so different because the workflow changes so much. Everything is just like a different language. Everything is set up differently. Relatively, a lot of other DAWs, like if you move from a Cubase, a Logic, a Pro Tools, even an Ableton, you can stay in that world and kind of jump from program to program without too much of a crazy difference. But if any of those users come into FL or vice versa, it's like speaking a different language. It's like going into a foreign country, not knowing the language at all whatsoever. You're starting from scratch. Like you're trying to just get a pack of gum at a convenience store and you can't even do it.
You're like, you got a point. For people who are starting off, what would you kind of steer them towards? Like, would you recommend?
Gotta be FL.
I mean, if it depends. I'm realistic. It depends what you want to do. If you say like, I want to go in and I want to be a mix engineer, right?
Okay.
And I want to run a studio. I want to start recording people, and I want to like start interning in studios, and I want to be like an industry engineer, right? Then I would say, yo, you got to go to Pro Tools. I'm not going to be unrealistic and say, yo, you got to use FL. You can't use nothing else. That's crazy because you got to like Pro Tools is an industry standard. If you want to be in that world, you got to use Pro Tools.
Yeah, no,
or at least you have to know how to use it. You can make your own lane and do what you want.
I would never tell a kid that wants to make beats he should start with Pro Tools ever. Like
exactly.
So Pro Tools, FL, and I was gonna say
Ableton?
There's a million.
Ableton. So those are like the top, like for as far as beat.
As far as like, all right, beat making goes, it's Ableton, FL Studio, and I would say Logic. Probably at the top.
I think Logic's pretty
I like. I mean,
those are like for making
him.
beats.
He's a cool artist. Nah, man, my bad. I was actually just listening to him the other day. He got a podcast too. His shit going crazy.
I saw that.
A little too honest for to be honest, but god damn.
Well, he had his dad on there, and he was
telling him why he didn't buy him a crib and shit. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, bro, maybe not for the pod, my boy. Like,
I know.
Jesus Christ. But hey,
that's
people
healing.
want that transparency.
Maybe it's healing for him. You know, that's all it comes down
Most
to.
likely. Most likely.
I used to fuck with Logic Music's hard. He can do whatever he wants.
He put me onto Logic, so I fuck with Logic. So like, especially what was what was that album with the girl? He was talking back and forth with the chick.
Was it Young Sinatra?
One of those. That was like one of the mixtapes.
That was mad long.
God damn. We were fucking with Logic for a minute.
Yeah, I've been seeing those clips of his podcast.
I saw he had an episode of Bobby Lee though. Like I think he did Bobby Lee.
I saw that.
Oh yeah,
I saw some clips.
Yeah,
I only see clips. I'm just like a clips consumer, bro. Like,
me too. I don't ever watch unless I really fuck with like podcasts. I'll always tune in for like the long term video. But I'm never really on YouTube like watching full streams or like on Twitch watching streams.
Yeah.
Like actually, I have a stream going in the background.
I'll listen in the car. Like that's where I consume the most of my all the podcasts.
So
like,
who?
Just in my car.
Oh, in your car.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was just listening to the Audio Nerds podcast on the way here. You know them?
No, I don't think
Help me, Devon. You know Devon Terrell.
Oh yeah,
he's
I
a
do
Pro
know
Tools guy.
Devon Terrell. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Artist. Really good
his
artist.
visuals are fire too.
Yeah.
Like for that podcast, his visuals are very dope.
I was
Yeah,
happy when I saw that pod started. I was like, "Word, they're giving out mad game, man. He's being real honest about the conversations that really nobody really talks about."
He's
really
excellent with the vocal.
Oh, bro, like he was, an artist first before anything, and then because he started like recording himself, engineering and mixing himself and producing. He makes beats too. He started the YouTube channel. And then from there started the podcast all about just audio stuff.
You have a ton of, as you know, the good thing about, your background and how you started and then transitioning into, as well as doing content creation is one, it's kind of like you already are familiar with what good audio sounds like. You're already familiar with good video quality looks like. So it's like, and then for the most part, you probably already had that equipment to start. At least, you had the audio, the microphone and all this shit.
Yeah, I could have the audio sounding good. Video, I'm still not great at. Like, I'll still use, like, if I'm doing a tutorial on YouTube, I literally have a Logitech webcam, like a stream cam, like, just like one of the good ones. It's an okay one.
Yeah.
Like, but the audio always sounds good. And
Yeah, it sounds.
I'm still, I'm just a big fan of, like, making sure what's in the content is good.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Can my visuals look better? 100%. Like, I wish I had the passion for that side of things.
Yeah.
I don't have the passion for that.
Yeah, no.
That is like painstaking like work to me. I'm like, I can't fucking do it. I don't want to do it. I get frustrated. I'm like, damn, this video the quality just doesn't look right. This thing ain't cropping right. And I'll give up on it. So I want to get it to look as good as I can get it to look, as easiest as I can get it there.
Yeah.
And drop it. So like if I'm like, I don't feel like filming that type of video today where I'll set my webcam up and screen record and the whole nine, selfie it is.
Yep.
Selfie video.
And I'll probably do
flip
better.
the camera around, record my screen with my phone.
I'll probably do better.
Turn the volume up on the monitors in the studio.
Yep.
And chop it up and video leap on my phone and I'm good to go.
On video leap. That's Murph, you were talking about CapCut earlier.
Yeah.
I know CapCut may not work the best for creating clips, but Murph, when you know how to work it manually, I'll be getting tight.
Manually it's fire.
Yeah, Murph be doing like clips on his phone. I'm like, when did you get to the computer? No, I did it on my phone. I'm like,
CapCut's actually lit on the phone. I can't lie. It's got a lot of shit. You can keyframe stuff, so you can like fucking set a position and then move to another position, like a zoom, and it'll just automatically make the sequence for you. A lot of these phones, like I be like tripping on TikTok. I'll be like, it'll just be like a cutout effect that I probably never use, but your body's like cut out perfectly. And they got shit moving around behind you.
Video Leap has that stuff too, bro. It's so easy.
What the fuck?
I have CapCut on my phone as well. But when I started creating content, I was on Video Leap and I just kind of like, it's like the FL Pro Tools thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Workflow there is fast. I'm fast on that. and I can zoom. I do it all on my phone. All the short clips that you see, my reels, they're all done on Video Leap.
That's dope.
And the Captions app. So the Captions app is just the AI generated captions.
Yep. Change the font.
For a little bit, I was using CapCut only for the auto captions, but then it was doing something weird to my videos, and maybe you can tell me what it's doing. But like, I noticed every time I did the captions, so I would do the cuts in Video Leap.
Yep.
I would export it out. I would put it in CapCut for the auto captions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I exported it out of there, it looked all like choppy. Like frames would it didn't look smooth at all anymore.
Somewhere, I mean, it could just be because like every time you do it, it might be degrading each time. But it also, one of the exports might have just been a different frame rate, maybe.
It was almost every one, and I export it at 30. It's always 30, 30, 30.
Damn. It might just be maybe the apps just don't play well nice together.
It's weird.
That's a good point.
Or maybe the free version is doing something weird. It's downgrading the exports.
Maybe.
Like in
there's no problem when you use the Captions app?
No. When I use the Captions app, I just went back to it recently, like last week, because I'm like, like the videos, and I'm like, the videos I still put them up, and a lot of them with that like still went really well. Did well. Yeah. So I'm like, whatever. But it was just annoying to me that I can't figure out why it's doing this. And I'm like, whenever I just use Video Leap to the Captions app, it doesn't do it. So I'm just gonna find like a better caption.
Yeah, it's gotta be something wrong with CapCut then. CapCut's not playing nice with the whatever codec that Video Leap sending now.
Weird.
Codec, yeah. I'm learning these terms, codec and DAW and all this shit. I know.
What does DAW stand for?
Time out. Wait, fuck. You know, I bought a QSC TM16.
Yeah.
And as I'm learning, still don't know shit about it. But as I'm looking shit up, it's like, you can use this as a DAW when you take it out and it's mobile. What the fuck does that mean? What's
digital audio workstation.
Digital audio workstation. I knew it was digital something.
I thought you figured audio would have been that easy.
Yeah, I know, right?
You two. You could have figured out workstation for sure.
Whatever.
It's all nerd talk.
With everything with all this experience you've garnered now, what would you, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
37.
37. When did you start
making music?
Yeah. Or just period. Start this journey.
I think I started kind of late if you look at it, because a lot of people start when they were like kids. I had no musical background whatsoever. I had no people in my family that did music at all. Not one person, not even like a distant, like nobody.
That's crazy.
So I had no inspiration or motivation from any family members whatsoever when it came to music. And so I started kind of late. It was like I was out of high school. I think I was 19, 20. 19, I think. And then I didn't start playing drums. I didn't start playing drums until I was 21 or 22.
Yeah. Like start playing drums?
I never touched a drumstick until I was 21 or 22 years old.
And you was rocking a whole band and all that.
I was in one band, band. My first band was my last band.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Good track record though. Yeah.
He's shooting 100% over here.
But yeah, so 19, so almost, coming on. No, I was 18. I was 18 because it's about to be 20 years that I was using FL Studio. Started with FL, and in March I'm turning 38. So 18.
Crazy. Okay, I just converted into 50 more questions, but I want to start here. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give yourself? To your 19-year-old self, 18-year-old self. What would you tell you? Knowing if obviously with all the endless possibilities now that you can go down. Any advice you would give yourself?
Oh man, I don't know. There's a couple of things maybe. Maybe the one thing, and this isn't the one thing I would say, and some people might take it the wrong way, but if I explain it, you might get it, is to be maybe a little bit more selfish. Maybe just a little bit more selfish career-wise. Okay. Not with family or friends or anything like that. I think career-wise, to be a little bit more selfish. And I might even sit on that and say, I don't even agree with it 100%. Maybe that's why I say a little bit more selfish, because I learned so much from being unselfish and being in a band and putting the band first for so many years, putting other people's music first for so many years. When if I was just maybe a little bit more selfish, I feel like maybe things would have took off for me personally a little bit sooner, but maybe not, because maybe that whole journey was for a reason.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
going on those tours where I made $0 or -$, or being
Mostly
sweating
negative.
in a fucking van. You know?
Oh my God.
In the middle of
Uncomfortable.
Texas.
Uncomfortable. How many hour rides?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Just, I mean,
with a belt buckle up your rib, trying to get
across the
comfortable.
world.
You're in a 15 passenger van with 5 or 6 dudes.
Yep.
And if you're lucky, you get a whole fucking cardboard bench to yourself in the back. You know what I'm saying?
A majority of the benches, I mean, of the is full of equipment. So half of the rows are taken up.
I mean, we had a trailer too, but it was just like,
Okay,
it was, you know, it's not easy. So,
Yeah.
but I mean but we did it because we loved to do it.
100%.
We weren't really complaining then.
Yeah, you
at
said you
all.
did it too.
And it makes you what you are today. I mean, you know, I'm the reason why I feel like I'm doing the things I'm doing today is because I went through all that stuff over the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And just met so many people, learned so many things, you know, been on the road, been in studios. So just kind of learning all aspects of the music business and industry in a sense. You know, I wouldn't take it back at all. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go through any of that stuff.
And then my other couple questions were, what inspired you to actually get into music? Because if nobody around you was doing it, what the fuck were you like? Yeah.
So I tell this story. I'll start it with I'll try and make it quick. I had a 1994 Ford Explorer, and I was always obsessed with like having like the loudest beat. You know, we used to call it beat. And you know, you would put speakers in your car.
The trunk,
and I would have, you know, the subs in the trunk, the 12s.
Just
At one
rattling.
point, yeah. Before that, and a couple of cars that I had before that, I had like some speakers, but this one was like the one.
Yeah.
And I wanted an SUV for this reason, because I wanted to just the whole thing filled with bass. You know, I just wanted like to have the loudest bass possible. I didn't want to have my trunk rattling too much. So I had this thing, and I was just obsessed with having a loud ass system. I was basically self-taught from myself and a couple of friends how to install it. So I was installing a lot of it myself, putting like the decks in myself and the subs.
I remember those things.
The flip downs and like
You gotta take the faceplate off and like it's
Pioneers.
stolen.
Yeah, that's just like, oh my God.
You gotta take your faceplate off so it doesn't.
Bro.
100%.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
Put it in your pocket.
Bring it
Go
with
on.
you.
Yeah.
Or just put it in the center console and like defeat the purpose of it. But like,
But you put the, you know what I'm saying? Click on your
the
steering
club,
wheel.
the club.
It's
But yeah,
changed
so
so
I
much,
had all that in the car, and I became obsessed with the beats of music, like the songs that I was listening to. So it was like I became obsessed with how they created the beats. I wanted to reverse engineer how that was done, because the feeling that I got from that music, I wanted to create that feeling for other people and myself. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
I wanted to recreate that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I got, you know, I wouldn't even really listen to the lyrics as much. I would just hone in on the beat. And I would like, I need to figure out how to make this stuff. I have to figure out how to make this. At least I'm going to give it a shot. So I would, you know, go on the computer and Google how to make beats. And then watch some videos on TV or online of Timbaland and Kanye. And you know, and just get inspiration from that. And Pharrell back then, like just obsessed with production. So I just at that point I was probably 17-ish, 18, and just became obsessed with how to learn. Googled, found FL Studio, and then from there it was a wrap.
History.
And then I got into like recording a little bit with some friends, and then drums.
Yeah. Couple of things. You know, you mentioned Timbaland. His content creation now, like, and him collabing with so many like different like, you know, upcoming artists. Super fire. I've been watching
He's
a lot of
always
his
streaming
stuff.
on TikTok. Whenever I'm scrolling, he pops up on my stream. I gotta hold for a second because he usually roasts motherfuckers.
Yeah, he does.
He'll just be like, this
He's
ain't
having
it.
people send him music and to listen to
the whole
like
time.
anybody.
But he'll tell you if it's good. But if it's not, he's honest.
He's getting you?
He's honest.
Damn,
Honest man.
you gotta respect it. Who wanted and the last couple questions for me, I'm sorry. That's it. But
That's what we're here for, bro.
so that's how you started doing music, but what made you pick up drumsticks at 21? Or at that age?
A couple of my friends were in bands, and they at one point we had like the bachelor pad, right? It was like a college party frat house when nobody went to college in the house. So it was like it was the college years, you know what I mean? The party days, the party years. Nobody went to college. We used the basement. My friends needed a space. They were getting kicked out of the space or somebody else's house that they were practicing in. So they needed a spot. I was like, yeah, just throw the drums in the basement. You guys can practice down there. I would go to their shows all the time.
Yeah.
And then because it was just, my room was in the basement and the basement was divided in two.
Yeah.
So it was like my room, a wall, the stairs, another room, laundry room, and the drums and their amps were in there.
Yep.
So whenever they weren't playing or whenever they weren't in there, I would just try to get on the drums and just try to do some bullshit, and just try to like mess around. Cause I'd been making beats for a couple of years. So I had, an idea of like what drums, sound like and kind of how to hold a rhythm without the coordination yet.
Yeah.
I didn't have that coordination.
It's a lot.
But I knew in my mind, the hi-hat and where the snare hits, where the hi-hat hit, where everything hits pretty much, but I just couldn't put it down. So my friend would teach me a little bit.
That's so fire.
And then here and there. And then he's like, yo, I'm taking the drum kit out. We're moving into this kid's house. We're going to practice in his house. He's like, you want to continue? He's like, you should, I'll still teach you, but
you
need get a drum kit. So I went to Guitar Center.
Damn.
And I bought a drum kit. And then I just started practicing all the time. And then the kid that taught me drums, that let me use his drum kit for all those years, for that time period, probably like a year span or so. Ended up starting a new band where he became the screamer. And this was Frank.
Oh, Frankie.
Yeah. So he became the screamer in the hip hop metal band, and I played drums in it. And then we just started like that. And I'm like,
crazy.
all right, I suck. I suck.
Nuts.
We're starting a hip hop metal band.
Drums are pretty important.
Yeah. So I was like learning on the fly pretty much with drums.
That's insane.
Just learning on the fly, listening to music, trying to, teach myself, learn from other people, watching drummers.
Yeah.
Which drummers? That's what I wanted to ask you.
I mean, we were at a lot of shows. I would watch some YouTube videos. I can't remember some of their names now, but I would watch a lot of YouTube videos and just like look up different styles of drums that we were trying to play.
Got it.
And then I would go to a lot of shows. We were playing a lot of shows, so I would just hone in. I would just focus in on the drummers. I'd be staring at the drummer. You probably know too. When you go to a show,
100%.
You're not looking or listening to anybody else.
And it's funny because like you would lock eyes, like he'll know that you're a drummer too, because you're kind of right there.
We'll be across the world in some hotel, and there'll be like a band out in the lounge, and he'll be like, hold on, and just walk over and be like, yo, tap me up. I'm like, yo, he's drumming. He's like, nah.
Honestly, bro, because a lot of the times, especially with places like that, like dudes ain't getting that much love or whatever the case is. You got to, just get, I hear you, my boy. That shit so hot. Right. Even though they try, sometimes it's not all that good. But like, I see you. It just makes them, and it gives you a little extra, like, all right, word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like while you're playing this shit.
Yeah. Some acknowledgement.
Yeah. And then my last question, was, who are some of your favorite producers? Like, give me like your top 5 favorite producers.
Top 5 favorite producers, like of all time.
Of
top
all time.
5. I mean, it has to. Timbaland's got to be on there. Yep. Pharrell's got to be on there. Kanye's got to be on there.
Okay, you said
Dre's got to be on there. We're talking all time.
It's like a Mount Rushmore.
It has to be like this is like a Mount Rushmore. Yeah, because obviously current producers are like fire ridiculous, but like we're talking my top 5 of all time because of what generations I've gone through. So that's 4.
That's 4.
So that's Timbaland, Pharrell, Kanye, Dre, and I think
they're all still active too.
And they are all. You
don't have to give me a 5th, but I do want you to give me this. What song from each one of those guys were like, this is why?
Timbaland, I can tell you right now, and it brings me back, was Indian Flute. Do you remember Indian Flute?
No.
It was probably the last like Timbaland and Magoo album that they did together.
It was fire.
And you know it. It was like
I probably do know it.
Oh yeah, of course.
That one.
Oh, okay.
That beat I would have that shit on repeat all day, every day. I mean, there's a ton of Timbaland beats, but for some reason that one just like comes to mind, and it's not like a go-to like cliche Timbaland beat.
Yeah.
But
okay, so how about for Kanye?
For Kanye, it's probably some of like the 808 and Heartbreak stuff, honestly. Or we go back to like College Dropout, and it was like your motherfucking head.
Get him high.
Most definitely.
I remember that. Wait, what was it? Damn, I remember I learned the rap. Like, what was this? Fuck.
Something about alcoholics and wallets and hydraulics.
I
got the flow like I got the bounce like
come
hydraulics.
On, we gotta figure it out. Come on.
I got the slur like alcoholics.
I got the flow like alcoholics. Freshman year, I was Going through hella problems, so
Then I bet up the nerve to drop my ass up out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was so fire. But from 808s and Heartbreaks, what was my favorite song? Streetlights. I don't give a fuck. I fall asleep to that shit any day. That's my favorite song, yo.
That whole album is crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably like my, I don't know, I would say that's my favorite Kanye album.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the new one at all?
Only a couple of songs. I haven't had the time really.
Whatever's going viral really is what I listen to.
Yeah. It's that one with the choir. Like, didn't he get like a whole like
Carnival?
He got like a whole like Italian like soccer fans.
Is that who did it?
And I swear, unless it was bullshit. I saw something go viral that was like he literally got like a soccer crowd to do the chant.
It sounds like a soccer chant.
I'm pretty sure he did.
It's like it's like a monstrous choir for the hook.
Damn. All right. So what about Pharrell?
Gotta be grinding, right?
I'm not gonna say cliche. I'm not gonna say grinding. That's the go-to. That comes to mind right away.
That was a crazy
because that puts you on to them right away. You know what I mean? That put me on to Pharrell. That's the one that obviously like puts you on.
Yeah.
But I love the stuff that he did with Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Beautiful's crazy. That's like an underrated beat, even because it's like a pop-ish, like top 40 thing, but it's still so good.
That drum beat,
it's so good. I did a video on this a long time ago. You know that there's like a Pharrell trend in his beats. You know the trend?
The build up
the 4 count at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh,
he does it for everything.
I heard that for Swiss Beats too.
Yep. So almost every single one of his beats, he does like a repeat of like the first measure. So like with the one with Snoop Dogg, the other one with Snoop Dogg.
Like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot. So it's like doom, 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 doom.
Yeah.
It's a hook, to be honest. Like we were talking about with videos, it grabs you off rip. You hear that shit and you're like,
it sounds like the Ice Cream song too.
Every one of his beats.
Oh, Mr. Me Too. I'm sorry. Mr. Me Too. It starts the same too.
I think he does it on every one of his beats, Pharrell.
It's simple, but it's effective.
So yeah, beautiful or like drop it like it's hot. I mean, just so like how simple that beat was and so different. Like the clicking, the mouth, like the tongue mouth clicking.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like to me, like I don't know. And
what made you want to do that? Like what the fuck? And it fits so perfect.
He's a genius.
He doesn't put out enough. I mean, I guess you can put out as much as you want, but like I feel like we need more Pharrell music in the world.
And how versatile like producers. Like that's what I'm looking at it as. Like look at like these producers, the ones that I named, and how versatile they are in different genres.
Oh my God!
Like look at the genres that they can cross into. Like Timbaland
especially.
If I had to think of another Timbaland beat, it's probably the Justin Timberlake. Oh
my God!
What a trend he started with that shit.
I can't think of the name of that fucking song right now.
Is that Future Love Sex? That's not that.
No.
I can't think of the name either. We need a producer.
Damn,
somebody that can Google shit.
Put it in the comments.
Hey Siri, what's the name of the Timbaland and Justin Timberlake song? Cry Me a River. It's not Cry Me a River.
That's what I was gonna say too. And
Cry Me a River is another one.
That's another good song too. I'm like, fuck.
Just, I mean, you can't even say one. You can say the one that comes to mind.
Girl. That's what I always think of. Promiscuous Girl with Nelly Furtado.
Oh, that's another really good one.
That's his theme song. That's right. He plays that shit every morning. He wakes up to that shit. Yeah, he wakes up to that shit.
That's what I get started to do.
That beat's crazy too, though.
Yeah, no, that's shit.
The stuff he did with Carrie Hilson.
Oh yeah,
The Way I Are. That one's crazy.
Yeah, Kanye West talked about how he had to put out, forgot what song. Oh, Better, Faster Than the Show, because of Stronger, Justin Timberlake and
I saw that. He had to put it. He's like, yo, Kim Kardashian liked that shit way too much, so I had to put something out that was just as hard, like in the same genre, because she was like fangirling over Justin Timberlake. Yep.
Now while I'm around, and then
Kanye, man,
he allegedly, you know where I'm going next? He allegedly like he couldn't get the beat right or couldn't get the sounds right, and Timberland did it and like he fixed it in like kick. 5 minutes or some shit like
it was
that.
The kick drum. He couldn't get the right kick.
Yeah, he did it like in 20 minutes.
He's like, the reason I made this is because I wanted to compete with Justin Timberlake and Timbaland. So he's like, I can't get the kick drum right. I'm bringing Timbaland in to get the kick, and then he's like, boom, boom, boom. He got it in like 2 minutes, and it was right.
I got a cool like 5% of the record, maybe or something.
That's what I've heard about Kanye. That's really good is like how much like he'll give like all the credits away because he has so many people involved. But that's what I feel like a great producer can do.
Yep.
A great producer can sometimes do it all or not like physically touch anything, you know, cannot physically
Khaled.
play an instrument like a Khaled, but
Khaled.
he is producing in a sense because
100%.
he's putting the records together. He's finding this artist and he's finding this producer and this engineer. And then this person's going to come in and play a violin on top of it.
Yeah.
Like that's a producer. Like people get mad, and the only people that really get mad are the people like in the producer world, really, you know, and, like in that community. The masses don't give a shit.
I mean, Diddy's one of the greatest producers, bro, because he has some of the greatest songs and put together some of the, you know, craziest combinations of people that,
Right.
you know, I mean, you know, one song that comes to mind is Every Step I Take. I know it's a remake, but I mean, I heard something too. Like, it just came to my head, but but they say that who I forgot whoever that he got the song from. Diddy pays him $2,000 a
Sting?
Yeah,
Sting.
$2,000 a day.
Yeah. Every breath I take, right?
Yeah, for that song, every $2,000 a day.
Kind of hard with you not around.
Everything's samples. Everything's a sample.
Oh yeah, everything is.
But it's like, I mean, you go even way back to other genres of music and to 50 years ago, they were sampling. It's been around since the creation of music.
It's a proven formula. If I'm going to take this melody or this bass line from a song that's already gone #1 fucking hit in the 50s, why the fuck wouldn't I?
There's a reason why so many people loved it then, so many people love it now.
Yep.
Like even just like the spirit of the song and, you know, like you were saying, the melody.
There's always going to be a certain formula to why songs go #1 or just have, you know, stick in people's heads. There's a certain formula to it. You can't really break away from it, really, because I mean, people's brains haven't changed much. You know, so if people's brains don't drastically change, then the way they consume music and the way that they feel and the music that gives them goosebumps or whatever isn't really going to change. So there's a certain formula to create to get people to feel that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Russ was talking about that shit, just about like more like at a certain point you can pretty much buy a #1. Like after you get to a certain point, you can kind of just pay for certain things to happen to kind of move you into that position.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Because there's groups of people that are like, they got it down to such a science that they know how to create a hit.
Yeah.
And then you just go into a room and you say, I need a hit. Rihanna goes into a room and says, I need a hit. Miley Cyrus goes into a room and she says, I haven't had a hit in a year or 6 months. I need a hit. And it needs to be on the radio in 3 months. And it needs to be a hit.
Yep.
Who can give me a hit? Now
and a team of 100 people start all that shit.
Playing reference tracks.
Yeah.
We're going through 100 of them.
Yep.
Damn.
And I mean, she obviously has a great ear because she's gonna pick and choose, like, or her and her label, you know. But she has a great mind. Don't get me wrong. Like, she's not just a voice. She writes and she has that mind of like, all right, that's the hit. But it's just like, I'm gonna go out and hire a professionals that got this down to a science, and I'm gonna work with these, and I'm gonna collaborate with these people that know this just as much, if not better, than I do. It's like putting yourself in a room with like people that are way smarter than you and that know something way more than you do.
Mm-hmm. It's a business at the end of the day, and everything's a return on investment. So the label, whoever's going to pay whatever it takes to get the most money back, which is a #1. So they're not going to pay for no bullshit.
Right.
But honestly, I do like Miley. I'm not going to lie. I like, she had a new song. I don't know how many writers she had on it, but like everybody has writers at this point. Like literally, it's a whole job when you go to LA. Like people are there living there just as songwriters.
Yeah.
Excellent songwriters too, man.
Oh, 1,000%. Some of the best songs are written by somebody else. Or like occasionally you hear like a Chris Brown version of a song and you'll be like, damn, that shit was way better than Usher.
Yeah. I was just saying, saying that right now. There was a song that came out, Transparency. He was talking about, Chris Brown was talking about, he's like, I have no problem giving writers any credit or anything like that. He's like, who's gonna sing it like me?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because a song called Transparency came out and there's a version. Oh, well, it came out officially, but Usher and 2 Chainz was on it and not Chris Brown. And he already had laid everything on it. But I've been
probably happens all the time.
Yeah, I've been bumping the Chris Brown version over the other shit way harder.
Crazy.
So, whatever.
Happens a lot like Party Next Door, because a lot of the hit songs are like Party Next Door songs that Rihanna heard and was like, actually, I think I'll do that instead.
The Weeknd to Drake early on, you know, when the Weeknd first came out and Drake was on his whole singing wave. When the Weeknd came out, people were like, is he copying Drake? He was like, no. This was what Drake was, whatever. But,
and like Sia, you know Sia?
Yeah.
And Rihanna's probably, like, if you had to think of Rihanna's biggest song, what would you think it is?
Probably Umbrella.
I would say Diamonds. Or
Oh,
Diamonds.
yeah.
I would say that's a good tie, maybe.
Yeah,
right there.
I gotta look up the stats.
Umbrella.
Oh,
That's
stats right here.
so. I think So
But Diamonds is
Sia
huge.
wrote Diamonds, and then when you
It
hear
sounds like her.
It sounds like a Sia song. Yeah.
you got to hear her sing it. She was on Howard Stern once and she sang it because Howard Stern's like obsessed with like the background stuff. He's like, he wanted her to sing that song that she wrote. And she sang it on just a piano, bro. And it was the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. Like I'll go back and like listen to that, just that version of that when she's on Howard Stern playing that song, and it's fucking insane. It's ridiculous.
I'm putting your hair so I can see it later.
So like she has like the formula we were talking about like that. Like she's got that down to a science. She's written so many songs for so many people that eventually she felt like, making her way into the industry because she probably at a certain point was like, I'm like really getting attached to these songs and I want to like get out there with them.
Because that song, what song is her biggest song? Sia's biggest song?
Chandelier.
That shit is
How crazy is
nuts.
that song, bro?
Diamond Chandelier.
You break that song down and just like listen to like the backgrounds and the harmonies.
She kept going.
It's
What?
out of control, bro.
And then I really, really enjoy watching people cover that song because one, that's already a tough song to sing anyway.
Yeah, it's hard.
But then when people can actually give their own flair to it and like reach those notes, and I'm like, God, I was like, what the fuck was this lady thinking? And then she also does a portion of that, not a portion of it, but like she does the faceless. Well, not anymore, but like she was faceless for a long time. Like,
wearing like the backwards wig or whatever. Yep.
Nuts, man.
That's a look though. It's marketing, just like Marshmallow.
Yeah, she figured that out though. Like, they're super creative, but like what their art form, what they're bringing to the masses is just so good. It's such a good product.
Yeah,
and their branding is unique and different in the sense it's almost like it adds a little bit more to it than even if they just came out with their face. It adds even more that they don't know what they look like.
I feel like when Marshmallow blew up, it was like almost every other DJ was wearing a mask at a certain point, but his broke through everything. And he's one of the biggest in the fucking world, bro. Yep. His hits are crazy. Massive. And his content's pretty good too. He makes good content.
I haven't seen much.
I said he was doing some cooking content for a while, and it was like he was cooking
with the helmet?
With the helmet on, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Can't be mad at that. Get that money. Because that's somebody, because if he ever decided to do like without it, that's a whole different character. That's a whole other person. That's a whole other bag. That's somebody. That's
tough.
The helmet. The helmet is one person that's already a millionaire. So
that's tough. I don't know if like when do you even retire? You could do that till you're fucking 60. Nobody can ever.
It doesn't matter.
But you get sick of it at a certain point.
Other people can do it.
That's crazy.
No, seriously, get a similar build. Get a similar build person.
Somebody else can do it. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else has done his shows for him once in a while. Because they pre-program a show. I'll pay you. I'll pay you $15,000 to just go and rock that show, and then I'm just gonna sit at home and I'm
gonna make the 500.
I wouldn't doubt if he's done it.
I wouldn't doubt it either.
I wouldn't doubt the industry's crazy. He's got the flu one night. You know what I'm saying? He's sick.
Like $1 million bag.
Somebody else can just go rock the show.
Especially for these, like a lot of these residencies. Like, what do you think they're gonna stop the show? Like, no. Especially you ain't even gotta be there. Like, what you mean? Oh, that's fucking nuts.
He'd be the easiest one to do.
Send his manager out there for the night if he's sick or something. You know what I mean? Like you never have to miss a show.
Wait a minute, this dude put on some weight. What's up with this nigga? Like, what happened to him, yo? And they come back the next day like I'm fit, like ready. Like, what the fuck?
Especially after the flu. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to ask you, like, what if you had to give like one piece of advice to content creators? What would it be besides clips? Because clips is probably the biggest tip you give anybody. I
wouldn't even. Like, because that's gonna change. If I can give a piece of advice that will like almost like never change, it's just like try different things. Like give things a certain amount of time and be realistic. I mentioned that earlier. I don't know if we were recording or not, but like be realistic with if something's working or not.
Yeah,
give it some time. I don't know what that time frame really is. Go off a vibe, go off a feel. I've been doing this for 6 months. I've had the same amount of interaction, the same amount of engagement. Something's gonna change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My hooks are gonna change. Try to like the other thing I would do too, because this piece of advice would stick around forever too. Consume with the mindset of like reverse engineering the content. Don't consume just for entertainment. Start consuming. If you want to be a content creator, start consuming as a content creator. Start consuming and breaking down the videos. Like, why did this video get 1 million likes? Yep. Why did this video get 1,000 shares?
Yep.
Why are the comments going crazy? What about this video, this 1 minute video, made it go viral. Start with that in any genre of content too. So don't even like stick to your genre.
Yeah.
You know, don't even stick to, you know, in my world, like production content, don't even stick to that. I mean, be aware of what people are doing that are successful in that genre of content creation, but also, you know, explore other genres, because there's people that are doing more generic and not so niche content that are like, you know, their numbers are astronomical, but you can take notes from that and see what works.
That's dope, man. I mean, listen, this has been a great fucking episode, bro.
Yeah.
Just let people know where they can find you, like your socials. I know you get the podcast.
Yep. It's just Larry O with 2 H's on everything. So Larry OHH on everything, on every platform.
Everything. So and they can find you on Instagram, TikTok,
Yep.
YouTube,
Everything. Yep.
Twitch.
No, not Twitch.
You know, are you live streaming at all?
I'm not streaming.
Not
No.
yet? Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
So like all the major platforms, yeah, like you said, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you know, podcast,
so fucking many now.
Spotify, Apple
Now,
Music.
especially the podcast,
Yep.
man. That's just dope, man.
Yep, it's the Larry O Show. That's all.
Awesome, man.
Yep.
Hey, well, thank you.
Perfect,
Thank you guys
bro.
for having
Thank
me.
you.
Oh, of course,
Before we
man.
got away, was there anything else you wanted to touch on? Like, is there anything you wanted to?
Yeah, do you have anything coming out? Any products you wanna
It's just
plug with?
just the Larry O Show. That's like, you know, my passion project right now.
Dope, man.
You know, I was just telling you guys how I like to switch up the content.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
as a full-time content creator, I've made a huge pivot top of the year. A huge pivot.
Wow.
So I mean, anybody could take that as advice
You
right
started
there.
like on the first week. I guess so. It's been episode 8.
Yeah, I think I was just looking at like the podcast episodes today. The first one came out on the 2nd.
Beautiful, man. 2024 is gonna be big.
Yep.
Bro, I'm excited for everything you got going on, man. Guys, make sure you check out all the channels. Like you said, we'll link everything in the description below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on weekly episodes all the time. Make sure you check out his podcast
Tuesdays.
as well. You said what?
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Every
Tuesdays?
Tuesday. Yeah, so today is a Tuesday. I don't know when this one's going to drop, but yeah, every Tuesday.
Wednesday. Ours is Wednesday. So you're gonna get. It should be a fun week for all the viewers for sure. So yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in for another episode. Make sure you tell your mothers to call us, and peace out.
What are you talking about? We don't care. 2 coffee.